Hi everyone! Welcome to Monica's Singapore Kitchen. Today I'll be cooking Sambal Ikan Bilis and peanuts. It is a condiment made of peanuts and dried anchovies. It is fried until very crispy and then tossed with melted sugar and spicy sambal. Come along with me to see how this condiment is prepared. So our main ingredient here are our anchovies. So I bought this from the supermarket. You can also buy it from your local Asian store or online. Choose the variety that says dried split fish. Yep, this is the variety that I use. So inside, you will see that these fish, they have been gutted and the heads removed. The fish is also split into half and the backbones are removed as well. If you see anything black left over, just remove it. It is bitter when it is added. So what we need is to wash it 2 times to remove the excess salt and debris. Yep. So after washing, what we need to do is to put it or drain, soak it with the kitchen paper and pat dry to remove as much water as possible. This is an important step as it prevents the oil from sputtering during the frying process. So the second main ingredient are our peanuts. So we can see that it says raw peanut, not the cooked one with the salt. So this one has nothing in it. It's just dried raw peanuts. Now, this variety of peanut is easily identified by its smaller kernels and its reddish-brown skin. This variety has a higher oil content and has a more nutty flavor. That's why it's chosen for this recipe. So again, wash it twice and pat dry with the kitchen paper. So here are our spices, and we are going to make it into a paste. Yep, we are going to start with the blue ginger, which is the lengkuas. Yeah, so you cut it into thin pieces like so. Then also add in our garlic. Garlic is roughly chopped, shallots roughly chopped, and I added 1 tablespoon of dried chili powder. So half cup of water to help with the blending process. So once it has become smooth, silky and fine, our paste is ready. Let's move on to our tamarind. So you can see that this tamarind pulp is made of tamarind, water and salt. So I'm going to extract make the tamarind water. So take 40 grams of tamarind paste, try to squeeze it out like a blob like that. Yeah, this is about 30 grams, so maybe you need another 10 more grams. So something like this, yep. So then what we need to do is to add some water. Okay. So I'm going to go in with my hand to separate the pulp from the seeds. Then just use your fingers to press it to separate this pulp from the seeds. Then you need to strain the mixture into a bowl using a sieve. Press as much pulp through it as possible using a spoon. And remember to scrape any tamarind puree from the underside of the sieve into the bowl. So if you still see thick pulp left on top of the sieve, you can add a little bit of water to let it go through the sieve. So all in all, I've added about 110 milliliters of water. So we are going to add white sugar and brown sugar. I use equal amounts of white and brown sugar as I want the sweetness from the white sugar and a deep caramel toffee-like flavor from the brown sugar. It's a perfect match. Put this aside and let's move on to the frying process. I heated up 3 cups of oil until it is hot enough. How do we know that it's hot enough? I stuck a wooden chopstick inside, and if you see a lot of bubbles, yes, then it is ready. So pour in our anchovies. So our plan is to fry it for about, I would say, 8 minutes. So constantly stirring it over medium heat. So 2 minutes later, you can see large bubbles containing water vapor. They are released by the anchovies. It looks very effervescent, accompanied by popping noises as the water vapor boils off. So continue to stir. And 4 minutes later, you can see that the bubbles have become smaller. The popping sound is still there. It's a little bit more brown, and it will then be a bit more calm as it turns about 8 minutes later. Almost all the bubbles are gone. It's golden brown, and it is a sign that it's ready when you take one and then you try to pop it into your mouth. Yeah, it is very crispy. So it's time for us to take this out. So drain the anchovies on kitchen paper. Try to spread it out so that it cools more evenly. Okay, it looks something like this. Then spread it out to cool. I can't resist having another bite. It's so addictive. Okay, let's move on to frying the peanuts. So the peanuts, we're going to fry it for about 4 to 5 minutes over medium heat. Peanuts take a shorter time to brown, so we need to pay extra care and attention to it. So 2 minutes later, it looks quite brown. There is a fine line between crispy peanuts and burnt peanuts. Need to watch it carefully and not to burn the peanuts, as burnt peanuts taste bitter. So take it out and drain after about 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, our peanuts are ready. So now we have got our peanuts and our anchovies. You know that you have got the crispiest fried anchovies and peanuts when it gives a gratifying hollow sound when stoked with a ladle. Hear the hollow sound? Yeah, so it is nice and crispy and ready for the next step. So before we mix them together, let's cook our sauce. Yeah, stir fry our peanut, the paste, yeah, the chili paste. So we are going to stir fry it for 8 minutes over medium heat. So constantly stir fry it to mix the paste with the oil thoroughly. So 4 minutes later, you can see that the paste is drier. The water we have added during the blending process has evaporated. 8 minutes later, it becomes even more dry. The color has darkened and the oil has separated from the paste. So this is a good time for us to add our sauce. So pour in the sauce. Okay. Then stir fry for 1 minute to mix the paste with the sauce. So the color of the sauce should be deep red, glossy and creamy. Yeah, something like this. Okay, 1 minute later, we can now add our 2-star ingredients, which are our fried peanuts and fried anchovies. So we're going to mix it thoroughly while the ingredients are still hot, because they tend to stick together when they cool down due to the caramelized sugar that we have added. So while it's hot, we must make sure that everything is completely mixed together. You notice the bottom of the pan should be dry and not oily. So this is the effect that we want to achieve. So our sambal ikan bilis and peanuts is ready. This condiment is full of umami notes to jazz up even the most boring and bland meals. This is best served at room temperature alongside nasi lemak, fried rice, noodle soups, porridge, or it can be eaten on its own. Nasi lemak simply wouldn't be complete without some sambal ikan bilis. Leftover sambal ikan bilis can be put in an airtight container and stored inside the refrigerator for up to 2 weeks. I hope you will give this recipe a try someday. Happy cooking!